let's get started with today's lesson. So we are in revision. It's week 2, and we're going to have a look at finance. We're going to have a look at invoices and statements today. And then in the next lesson on Tuesday, we'll continue with financial work. All right. So this is a question from a grade 10 exam. It is a budget type question. Okay, so let's have a look at it. It is grade 10 level, but grade 11, remember, there's good practice for you guys to get involved with this. Let's have a look at the question. It says, Mr. Kulu, a father of 3, earns a net salary of 18,350 per month after deductions. Okay. He budgets every month as follows, and there's his budget that he's drawn up. Okay, so a quick question. What does net salary mean? Can anyone tell me in chat, what is net salary? That word there, net. Who can tell me in chat what that means? Okay, Tiama, for the whole year. So the word, I think the word you're thinking of is annual. So annual is for a year. So annual salary will be a whole year's salary. Or I think that's what you're thinking. Not to worry. So Kila, the money you earned. Okay, yes, this is the money that he's earned. All right, but there's another word that they often put up here. There's 2 words. There's gross salary, and net salary. Okay. Not for the month. So the difference between gross and net, let's see. Yachiyama, if we keep trying, eventually you will hit it. So I'll tell you what it is, guys. So gross means before deduction. So when you get your salary on your pay slip, you'll see gross salary. So that's before all the deductions come off: tax, UIF, insurance, medical aid. Sometimes they pay medical aid for you. So the gross salary is what you are promised in your contract. Okay, so that's gross. That's what you're getting. But before that money comes into your bank accounts, all right, before you get it in your pocket, there's a whole lot of deductions that come off, like tax, insurance. Sometimes they do the medical aid payments and stuff like that as well. So once all the deductions have come off, that money that hits your bank account is not your full salary. It's that your gross salary after deductions. That's what net is. Okay, so net salary is the salary after deductions. Okay. All right, so gross is the one without deductions, and net is the one after deductions. So it says here, earns a net salary of 18,350 per month after deductions. Okay, so net is after deductions. All right. So we can see here in the budget, we have his salary after deductions. They even wrote the word there, after deductions again. That's the net salary that's coming in there. And there's a housing subsidy as well. All right. Now, you can see here in this budget, there's a heading saying monthly income. Then on the right-hand side, we've got monthly expenditure. All right. So he's budgeting what's coming in, the income, and what's going out, the expenditure. Okay. And on the income side, we've got his salary that's coming in, his net salary. And they're also giving him a housing subsidy as well. So it's not just a salary, but there's also other money coming in, a housing subsidy amount. All right. So that's all the money coming in. And on the right-hand side, yeah, we see all the expenditure, all the expenses, the money that's going out. Okay. We've got a bond repayment. Who knows what a bond is? Anyone in chat? What is a bond? You guys are going to hopefully experience this when you're older. Anyone know what a bond is in chat?
Drop those answers like they're hot, guys.
Yeah,
I
you
know
guys
you
are,
know the answer.
you fast with your keyboards. Anyone know what a
Siam was
bond?
just all about emojis today.
I think everyone's tired. Everyone's money paid for a house. Good, Sonia. So
So
yes,
yeah,
there we go. Well done. So a bond is like a home loan. All right, they call it a bond. Okay, so when you get a home loan, another word for it is a bond. Okay, then municipal rates. The rates, now don't think of this as water and electricity, because that comes afterwards. Rates are fees that you pay on owning a property in a municipality. So every property, every piece of land that has a building on, you have to pay rates for that rates. So there's a famous saying, there's something that's the most certain in life. Everything else changes, but the most certain things in life are rates and taxes. Okay, you'll always have to pay rates and taxes. All right, so rates is something that you pay when you live in a property in a municipality. That money goes to the municipality, and that's supposed to help for upkeep of the roads, municipal services, and stuff like that. Okay, so everyone has to pay rates if they own a house or property in a municipality. Then underneath that, we've got water and refuse. So this is extra on top of the rates, water and refuse, electricity. We've got food that he's budgeted for, a car installment. All right, what is this car installment? Can anyone tell me what is car installment? Car installment. Put it in chat there if you know what a car installment is. I'm going to move on to petrol. For obviously, if he's got a car, he's going to need petrol for the car. All right. Yeah, well, so a car installment is also like a loan. If you're buying a car on a hire purchase agreement, then that monthly payment that you're paying off your car for the car loan is called an installment. There we go. Well done. So that's money that this person's paying off because they've bought a car on a hire purchase loan agreement. All right. Good. Yes, son, you will have a car one day. You will definitely. Entertainment, all right. Now we're talking about Netflix, going to the movies, going to the mall, stuff like that. Ice cream, all right. That's important. That's where the ice cream is in the entertainment part there. All right, school fees. So Mr. Kula is a father of 3, and he has to pay school fees as well. And then we get to the last one here, which says clothes and cell phones. Now there's no figure here, but look what's in the brackets, 12% of the total monthly income. Okay, we're going to talk about that just now. We've got 12% of the total monthly income. We don't have a value for that. Obviously, the question is going to ask us for that. And then we have total for all the expenses, which is marked as B. Obviously, going to work that out. And on the left-hand side here, we've got total for the income. So the total income is 18,350, which is these two, the salary and the housing subsidy added up. And on the right-hand side, the total for expenditure hasn't been totaled yet. And he wants to obviously see my total income and my total expenditure. How much money will you have at the end of the month? Okay, let's have a look at the questions. All right, let's go down a bit here. All right, here we go. First question, type in chat, please. Name one fixed expense, a fixed expense. On the right, we've got all the expenses. Which one of these is a fixed expense? Okay, we've got Amor saying electricity. We're going to talk about that. Good. Bond. Good. So, Keely, yes, a bond, that amount is definitely fixed. You agree on that amount with the bank. It doesn't change. School fees. Yes, good. School fees will be fixed. That shouldn't change. You pay the same amount every month. Good. Yes, good. DVBZ. Car installment. Lissetti. Yes, that'll also be fixed. Let me tick the ones that are fixed here. So a bond, you said, a car installment is fixed. School fees is fixed. Okay, municipal rates is fixed. Good, that'll be fixed. All right, water and refuse rate. Okay, let's talk about the water and refuse and electricity. All right, now these values here, water and refuse and electricity, because you don't use the same amount of water and electricity, those values actually will change every month. Okay, so if you use a lot of water in a month, they will record it and they come around and they do a reading on your water meter and they read your electricity meter, and that will change according to the usage that you have. So the water and electricity actually will be not fixed. What's the word that we will say? If it's not fixed, then what is it if it changes every month? Variable. Well done, Arve. Good. Well done, Sonia. Good. So it's variable. So I'll tick it in blue. So the water is variable. Electricity will be variable. Food. What do you think food is, guys? Fixed or variable? Food. There we go. Variable. Good. And petrol, that'll obviously be variable depending on how far this person travels. Entertainment, that could also be variable as well. Clothes and cell phones. Now, this is an interesting one. Clothes and cell phones, 12% of the total monthly income. Good, good, good. Now, the last one, clothes and cell phones. This is actually quite interesting. Do you think this item in this budget is fixed or variable? This is quite tricky because usually clothes and cell phones, look, a cell phone contract will be fixed. If it's a cell phone contract, it'll be fixed. Clothes will be variable usually. Okay, so clothes will be variable. Cell phone contracts are fixed. If it's prepaid, that will be variable. Okay, fixed and variable. Good, Sonia. All right, so clothes will be variable. Cell phone contracts will be fixed, but cell phone prepaid would be variable. In this budget, though, 12% of the total monthly income. Well, let's work out that question, then we'll come back and have a look and see. Because in this budget, that is actually a little bit different than usual. But let's have a look at the next question. Okay, so the next question says, Mr. Kulu calculated that the value of A is 2,202 Rand. All right, let me scroll down a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Show how Mr. Kulu calculated A, the amount of money he anticipates spending on clothes and cell phones in December. How did he get to this amount, 2,202? All right, so you guys are going to do the calculation, and then I want one brave soul to help me explain how we got to 2,202. All right, so I want you guys to do this calculation, work out what the clothes and cell phones will be, and check that the answer comes to 2,202. All right, let's read it again. It says clothes and cell phones are 12% of the total monthly income. Okay, so work that out and make sure that you get 2,202. We should get that value. All right, if you guys are getting it, then give me a thumbs up or a yes. And then I need one brave soul. Anybody.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Anybody.
Anybody to explain to us how they got 2,202 in this question. All right, so put a thumbs up in chat if you're getting the answer, and then please, somebody.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Somebody. I feel like we need to drop a mixtape and stuff. That would be the interlude.
Somebody. Anybody.
Anybody.
All right, we got a thumbs up there from Giamo that she's tried it out and she is getting the same value. But I need someone to explain to me how they got this 2,202. What did you do to get this value? Ah, Sambulo. All
Are
right,
they sending mixed reactions?
All right, Sambulo. We've got a method there. Okay. Does anyone want to unmute and speak to us? We've got another method there. Oh, you guys are shy tonight. All right, so let's check on this value. Let's see how we do it. Okay. So theoretically, the calculation, I'll do it on the side here. Let me just move over a little bit. There we go. So let's do it on the side. So we need 12% of the total monthly income. Now the total monthly is all the income. So it's this value, 18,350. Okay. So we need 12% of that. So 12 over 100, like I saw in chat, times the 18,350. And let's see what we get. Get the calculator out. 12 over 100. Times, I can't even see the buttons down here. There we go. All right, times 18,350. All right, there we go. We're getting the same thing as the question. Okay. All right, so we've shown it. All right, there we go. Okay, so we showed how we get 2,202. I'm going to write it in here. Now, I wanted to come back to this and say, in this budget, will this be a fixed or variable expense? Well, because the total income stays the same every month, then this value, 2,202, actually won't change. All right, so you could say in this budget, this expense is fixed based on what they're telling us. But usually people put these items in their budget, and clothes and cell phones, if it's prepaid, will change. It'll be variable. All right. Okay. All right, let's move on to question 2.3. We now need to calculate the total expenditure for B. So this total here at the bottom for B, what is the big total? So you guys are going to have to do some calculations there. And let's see what we get for our answer right down here at the bottom. For B, what is the total expenditure? So Keely, there was this 2783. Is that for the 12%? 2783. 2783. I'm not sure why you're getting 2783. If you look at the calculator here, just check your big number, the 18,350. If you times that by 12%, you should still get that 2202. So just check the calculator there, that you have that same thing on your calculator. You should get 2202. I think maybe either the percentage is different or that big value there might be different. Just check on that.
Oh, Sakila says they used 17,800.
Yeah, so one of those values was a little bit different. All right, we got two different values here. Oh, I love it when we get different answers. We got incredible speed here. Oh, I hope the quality is good. We've got good speed. All right, just remember, this is a good time to point out that in exams, when you have a lot of numbers to put in your calculator, you must work very, very carefully, okay? Because you can easily make a mistake, human error. It can creep in. So just be careful. You've seen me do it as well. Putting a whole lot of numbers on the calculator, there is the chance of human error. So just go very carefully. Okay, so while the answers are coming in there, I'm going to start doing it on my calculator. So 4100 plus 475, oops, plus 325 plus 580 plus 2750 plus 1650 plus 1800 plus 1300 plus 940 plus 2202. All right, so there we go. I think I've got all my numbers in there. You should have your answer there too. And when I press equals, we get 16,122. Now, I'm not going to write the calculation. I'm just, because it's going to be very long, I'm just going to write the answer underneath here. So 16,122. Oh, that's too many twos. All right, good stuff. Well done. Yeah, you see, Jenny, there's a chance of human error here, especially if you're at the end of the term and you're tired as well. Okay, so we all should be getting 16,122. And then once you've got this value, then obviously the next question is going to be, how much money does Mr. Kulu have left after paying all his expenses? So how much does he have left after he's paid all his expenses? That's a quick calculation. You guys are able to do that now. You've got all the totals. So how much does he have left? We've got his income, we've got his expenses. How much does he have left? Kia, you should have been here on Tuesday. We had this
What
story.
was happening?
We had this story. We had the story
Sorry.
about someone that was making chip twisters, and I kept on saying ship twisters.
My word, too.
Yeah, ship twisters, ships.
Shame.
Yeah. All right, we should be getting answers, guys. There we go. Subtract. Very good. All right, nice and easy. Just find the difference between the two, which is subtraction, and you all should get the same answer. All right, let's have a look at the calculator. So I'm going to write the calculation down here quickly. So it's the 18,350 minus the 16,122, and the calculator says 18530 minus 16122. 185. Oh, you see, 18350 minus 16122. There we go. 2228. All right, we should all be getting the same. Good job. Well done. Very good. So Mr. Kulu is doing well. His expenses are well, I wouldn't say well below. His expenses are below his income, which is always a good thing. Okay. A lot of people, happens to everyone. Sometimes those expenses are way too high. All right. Okay. Very good. Any questions about this? Grade 10s, it should be pretty simple, not that difficult. Nice and easy. Well done. Okay, let's move on to something a little more challenging. You know what we like here. We always leave the good stuff to the end. Okay? We always leave you guys with your heads spinning at the end of the lesson. Right, so grade 11s, this one's for you. Okay, grade 10s, but doesn't mean you must switch off now. It means you've got to really concentrate hard. All right, so let's have a look at this. So it says here, Katlego has an account with a clothing store. So this is a clothing store account statement. Okay, so this is an account statement. So the clothing store sends this to you every single month to show you the account that you have at the store, your balances, what you owe, etc., etc., etc. Now, we're not talking about normal purchases here. We're talking about when you open an account at a store and you buy on account. You take the clothes without paying for them, you put them on your account, and you actually pay later. All right, you pay little amounts every month towards what you've bought at the store. So you'll see at the top right hand side, there's this thing called the installment. That's the monthly amount that you have to pay towards what you owe the shop, what you owe the store. Okay, so personally, I don't really have clothing accounts because these things can be so dangerous. The idea of taking something out of the shop without actually paying cash for it at the moment scares me. But a lot of people do this because they can't afford to pay a big amounts at once. So they'd rather open an account, take what they need, and then pay a little bit over time. All right. So it's like loaning, it's like borrowing from the store. All right. So you take the clothes, you owe them now, and then you have to pay a little bit over time. Okay. Lenati, welcome. Good to have you. Welcome, Lenati. Good to have new people in class tonight. All right. Lenati, if you could just put in chat what grade you are. All right, so we can see if you're grade 10 or 11. Okay, so let's have a look at the statement. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. All right. So let's interpret what we see here. So we've got the person's name and their address. We have the top right there an installment that is due. Underneath there, overdue, which means you haven't paid, and so in here within the overdue section, this will be if you haven't paid anything in a while, you actually owe the store some money. Okay. Total due for this month. So this little cell here is the total due for this month's statement. The due date for that 200 Rand that is due will be on the 8th of December. Okay, so this total due of 200 you need to pay by this date. And over here on the left-hand side, that date there is the date of the statement. So this is a November statement, and they're saying here in November, 9th of November, hey, you owe us you owe us some money here. You're going to have to pay 200 Rand by the 12th, in about a month's time. Okay, so you must make sure that you pay before the 8th of December. Okay, now let's have a look at the items in the statement. So just like a bank statement, this first row here, okay, is the opening balance. So that's just like a bank statement. So last month's statement, the end balance, the final balance in the last month's statement will start here as the opening balance. So in the opening balance here, we have 1,000 Rand and 61 cents that is due. Okay. Then in the second line, we have interest. All right. So like I told you guys, this is like a loan. You've bought something out of the shop, but you haven't paid for it. You still owe money for these items. Okay. So it's like a loan, and any loan incurs interest. Okay. So this 23 Rand 73 is interest on the amount that's still outstanding that you owe. Okay. Then the third row here is ATM payments. Okay, so a payment that was made, and this 200 Rand is obviously Katlego's payment towards the account, and we can see how that changes the balance in the account. All right, it makes it smaller. So obviously this 1,061 is amount owing. They add on the interest to that, and then he makes an ATM payment, or she makes an ATM payment and reduces that balance. Okay, then in the fourth line over here, we have an account protection plan. This is like an insurance plan or insurance policy. Often stores do this. So for example, if something happens to you and you can't pay this account for some reason, and you can prove to the shop like for some reason you are unable to pay this account, but can't just be like, oh, I don't have any money. It's got to be like an extreme reason, like there was a flood and all the belongings in your home washed away and you've got nothing. Then the insurance policy should be able to help you cover this. That's the account protection plan. That's 20 Rand 56, which brings up the total to 844.90. And then right here at the bottom, we have a lifestyle magazine. So obviously this store puts out a magazine every month, and you have signed, this person, Katlego, has signed up for this, and the magazine costs 25 Rand. They'll post you the magazine, and that's added onto the account here as well for this new total over there. Okay, so that's just a description of all the items. Now, so you need to see a lot more of these kinds of statements to familiarize yourselves with the items in the statement. Okay, so in class here at Watobe, when you're doing a revision, you need to look for these kind of things and look at the items there and see what they are and how they're changing the balance in the statement, and you'll get used to it. Okay, yes, the descriptions are there for us. The descriptions kind of tell us what's happening, but sometimes the descriptions aren't very good. So it's helpful to with a teacher, or like we do with Watobe, or in a textbook to help you understand exactly what these items are and what's happening here in the statement. Okay, so now we're going to use this statement to answer some questions. So let's see the first question. All right, we're not even going to answer this one. It just says write down the opening balance of the account. That's an easy 2 marks. So you're going to write down 1,061 cents. Okay, so that's the first question there. What is the opening balance? 1,000 Rand and 61 cents. Okay, let's get to the real questions. Here's the next one. How much did Katlego pay for this month? Oh, this is also too easy. All right, I'll do this one. I like doing the easy ones. So 200 Rand. Okay, so Katlego paid 200 Rand for this account this month. That's an easy one, an easy 2 marks. If you get these kind of questions, you're smiling. All right, here we go. Which deduction on this account is not a necessity? Right, let's read the question again. Which deduction, that word deduction, who can tell me what the word deduction means? Which deduction on this account? Okay. Which deduction on this account? What does the word deduction mean? If they say deduction, okay, minus. Good, very good, Sakila. So a deduction, you've got to be careful here. So yes, it is minus, all right? So, okay, so yes. So you guys are right. It is money going out from you. Okay, so it's money that's leaving you. Okay, so coming out of your wallet. All right. In the statement, though, it's increasing the value, or because it's increasing what you owe. Okay, so these deductions here are the ones that are increasing what you owe. So we'll show deductions here. So interest, okay, account protection plan, and the lifestyle magazine. All these things are increasing this value, making it bigger. So those are all deductions. They're coming out of your accounts, all right, and they're making this what you owe bigger here. Which one is not a necessity? All right. In other words, which one doesn't really need to be there? Doesn't have to be there. It's optional. Good, Lasedi. Well done. I would agree with you that the lifestyle magazine is not a necessity. Okay, out of all three here, the lifestyle magazine is not necessary. In fact, the only two which are optional is the account protection plan and the lifestyle magazine. Interest is not optional. You have to pay interest. So we're really just looking at account protection plan and lifestyle magazine. I think the lifestyle magazine is the one that really isn't necessary. Okay, so that deduction there, this person could really do without. Not very necessary at all. Okay, let's move down. Next question. Let's read this one carefully now. Okay, guys. Determine the interest as a percentage of the opening balance. So there's the word interest and the words percentage of the opening balance. Okay, so we see here on the second line, there is interest that is charged. Determine that interest, which is 23 and 75, as a percentage of the opening balance, which is the 1,061. In other words, it's saying you paid 23 and 73. What is that interest payment as a percentage? Because we want to work out how much interest is this person paying on what he's owing. Good question. 313 is 2 marks. Which should we include 2? So in math literacy exams, you should actually never see a 1 mark question. All the questions in math literacy exams are always 2 marks. You shouldn't see a 1 mark question, especially the national papers. You will not see a 1 mark question. So even though it's 2 marks, and also the word deduction is singular. If you wanted 2, they would have said which 2 deductions, plural. That would mean you need 2. They'll always say which. They'll actually write the word 2. In fact, what they do in the exams and the finals, they put the word 2 in capitals. Okay, so they'll say which 2 deductions. All right, they'll actually put the word 2 in capitals there, which means you must give 2. But because it's 2 marks doesn't mean you must give 2. Math lit exams, there are no 1 mark questions. Everything that's small is 2 marks. So 2 marks is the minimum. Right, so you guys should be calculating this interest amount, 23 and 73. What is it as a percentage of the opening balance, please? Who's got an answer that would like to explain how they did it? Not that difficult, guys. Who's got an answer? Raise your hand if you'd like to explain to us how you got your answer. Not that difficult. Anyone want to talk to us tonight?
Just raise your hand. I'll happily unmute you.
And we'll happily talk. Anybody?
Somebody.
Somebody. Yo, guys, you're always so quiet.
Yo, what's happening? Like we have no vibe lately.
Yo, usually we have people talk. I miss Pabalo.
Facts. Because where is Babalo?
Where's Pabalo?
We need to put out like a search warrant for Babalo.
Yeah, I'm missing Pabalo. Anyone want to raise their hand and talk to us?
Ave is keeping it so real. It's like it's the holidays.
Vuyiseka, don't you want to talk to us? No. Oh, come on, Ave, man. I saw you do that awesome screen the other night. You put that screen on the other night with that background. You don't want to talk to us, Ave.
Not a single taker. Oh, Linati wants to talk to us. I'll just quickly unmute you. Yes, there we go.
Linati, speak to us.
Good afternoon, sir and ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
Linati. How are you?
Linati.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Now you guys doing?
We good, man. We're in the dark, but we're good. Well, I'm in the dark.
I'm also
Well,
the
yeah. I also wanted to say I'm in the dog set because I don't really understand math lit yet because I just dropped from pure math to math lit. So I'm not really understanding anything that's going on, and I just wanted to ask what I
Yes.
can learn in order to understand anything I need to learn in order for term 2 or term 3 or whatnot.
All right. Good question. Thank you for asking this question. So,
Yes, sir.
Lenati, I think you'll find that the math that we do when we do the calculations on the screen, and you see when you see us doing the math, it doesn't look that difficult. The hardest part about math literacy, well, I'm going to say the hardest, the most challenging part about math literacy is interpretation of the question. So that skill you're going to have to learn by just doing as many questions as possible. So as the teacher explains, or you'll see here tonight as we do it, it's all about interpreting what the question is asking. Once you understand what the question wants, the math is actually quite easy to do. So math literacy, a lot of it is interpretation. The math you'll find is actually quite easy, and that comes with experience. I promise you'll pick it up very quickly as you go. The two topics I think that you need to focus on, it's me personally, is finance and measurement. So we're doing finance tonight. I think measurement is also another challenging one. You're going to see the data handling that we do very soon is very similar to core maths. But the measurement, that can be quite tricky. You in chat, you guys can also put up topics that you find difficult. But I think measurement and finance are the two. Like if you were here for tariff tables, the guys online will tell you. You'll see Tiamo and putting up her face now. The tariff tables are quite challenging, but the math actually isn't that challenging at all. You can understand the math how to do it. It's just interpretation of the question.
Oh, no problem, sir. Thank you, sir, so much. Yes,
All right. No problem, Nati. Thank you for that question. All right.
thank you.
You see, now Tiama's putting smiley faces. That's not what I was expecting when I say tariff tables. Finance, data handling, drawing graphs. Yeah, the graphs as well. Patterns in relationships. Yes, that can be quite challenging, but finance is also quite a difficult one. Measurement, I think personally, because the questions you get in measurement can be quite challenging, but it's all interpretation. Okay. All right. Yes, Bianca, I agree with you. Graphs, finance, tariffs. Yes, tariffs is the one that scares me the most. Okay, here we go. Anyone got answers for this percentage? I think we saw Lesedi with 2.38%. Anyone else got an answer here? It's just Lesedi. 2.31 for Chiamo. We got 2.38. We got 2.31. Ms. Bondley, have you got an answer there? Okay, hold on. Ms. Bondley wants to speak to us.
Let
Okay,
me
hold
just
on.
quickly unmute her.
All right, hold on a second, Ms. Bondley. We're going to speak to you now.
Please accept the pop-up on your screen that says you need to unmute Buntle.
There should be a little pop-up that says unmute.
Well, it's giving. There we go.
Ms. Bondley, how did you do this question? What did you?
I'm still busy with it because it's giving me some trouble.
Okay. All right, do you want me to help you a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, let's read it again. All right. It says at the bottom, read it, it says determine the interest. Okay, now what interest are we talking about? I'm going to highlight it again. It's this value here. Determine that value as a percentage. All right, now as a percentage, you know we're going to have a fraction. We're going to need something at the top, something at the bottom, and then we multiply by. For a percentage, what do we multiply by to get a percentage? 100. Okay, so we need a value at the top of the fraction, a value at the bottom of the fraction. Now, when they say determine the interest, that's the 23 Rand 73. And what must be at the bottom? Well, they say as a percentage of the opening balance. Now, where is that opening balance value? There it is there. 1061. Okay, so I can see Ms. Bortley is doing the calculation quickly, and she's going to tell us what she got.
comma 37 155 3352.
All right, excellent. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to just write it out and I'm going to do it with you and we're going to have a look at the decimals. Okay, so let's just do it, write it out here. So 23.73. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Yo, guys, this load shedding, I think I can barely see what's going on here. 23.73. Huh. All right, and then I need to put in under 1,061. And then I need to times this by 100 to get a percentage. Okay. And just like you said, well done, 2.37155. So now, Ms. Bondi, are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. Do we need to round this? We need to round up to 2 decimal places. So what will the second decimal is a 7. Will it change?
No, sir.
No, so well done. Very good. So it's 2.37. All right, so the answer is 2.37. Thank you very much. Well done. Good job. All right, so it's 2.37%. Okay, 2.37%. So this person is paying 2.37%. Now, just a quick matter of fact thing. Do you guys think that this is a very high or low percentage?
No.
It is quite low. It looks low, doesn't it? Okay, it looks very low. But what you need to understand is when they calculate percentages, they actually have an annual percent that they chop up into a monthly one. So this is actually a lot bigger. If you look at an annual statement, this number will be a lot bigger, but because it's a monthly statement, it's a bit low. All right, Ms. Bodley, thank you so much for helping us. All right, let's have a look. Is there another question? I hope there is. Okay, that's all we have for tonight. That's all we have for tonight. All right, grade 10s and 11s. I hope you understood all that. Are there any questions about the work? Any questions? Janu, 2.37. Yeah, well, if we worked out an annual, how could we work out an annual one actually? That's a good question. How could we get an annual percentage from this 2.37 here? What could we do to find an annual percentage? All right, annual means for a year. This is a monthly statement. Very good, Chiamo. We could times this by 12. Okay, so if we actually go and take 2.37, oh, I'm doing things in the dark here. So 2.37 and times it by 12, that looks like, that percentage there looks a lot like what you're going to get from a shopping account, a store account. Guys, that is real. Yes, Amma, well done. That is a real percentage. That's almost, it's more than a quarter. It's more than a quarter. So whatever you owe over a year, a quarter of what you owe, you got to pay them in interest. It's very high. Okay, and credit cards are just as high. Now, when you put money in the bank so that you can grow interest, that percentage is a lot lower. So banks and stores make a lot of money this way. They make us pay a very high percentages, but they don't want to give us high percentages. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at this one again. Just to check on rounding. So if we look at this number on the screen, I hope you guys can all see it. If not, I'll put the big screen up there. So we've got 2.37155, right? And the exam instruction is always to round off to 2 decimal places. So we look at the second decimal, which is a 7, all right? And we ask ourselves, will this 7 change? So we look at the number behind it. If that number is 5 or more, then the 7 will go up to 8. But if it's 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, this third number, the 7 is not going to change. It'll stay as it is. Okay, so when you're rounding off to 2 decimal places, you look at the second decimal place, 7. Will the number behind it change? If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes, it will change to an 8. But if it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, then it won't change. It'll just be 2,37. Okay. I hope you guys all got that. All right, remember to round off to 2 decimal places. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions about this? Are we all good? I hope you guys understand more about statements. Okay, just remember, like I said, it's good to practice and experience these to understand how they change your balance. And just remember, a statement like this is what you owe. Okay, so you don't see minuses here. It's a bit strange. You don't see minus. In other words, I have minus 1,000 rand, or I have a minus 1,024. There's just 1,000 rand. This is you owe 1,061. And on this amount that you owe 1,061, you have to pay an installment of 200 rand before the 8th of December. Okay. Hopefully you guys don't have lots of these clothing accounts, because like we saw, the interest rate gets really high. To try to keep them to a minimum. All right, any questions? Last chance, anyone got a question before Kia puts on the quiz links? Are we all good? All right, I think everyone's just wanting to go on a holiday now, Kia.
Yeah, no, hey.
All
I
right,
think their
guys.
brains are on mute as well.
Yeah, so their brains are on mute. I think everyone wants to go on a holiday and eat lots of ice cream. Please eat lots of ice cream during the holiday, okay? Kia's going to put the link for the quizzes online, and she's probably going to lock the chat while the quiz links are there so that they don't disappear off your screen.
Yes,
Oh,
guys, I have dropped the link so you can indulge on the test.
Okay, last test for term 1, last quiz for term 1 before we go into a holiday. And most of you are going to be going on holiday end of this week. And we're very, very proud of you. We don't need a poll tonight. We're just going to leave it just for quizzes. We're very proud of you for all the work you've done in term 1. Okay, these lessons will continue next week. We'll finish off the revision next week. So we hope to see you all there, and then we start with a bang again in term 2.
Okay, I think I'll just open the chat so that you guys can love and leave us properly. I'm joking. But if you have managed to click on the link for the quiz, I think you guys can call it a night. You guys are superstars tonight, answering everything. Janu, there's no poll for tonight. Tonight it's just the quiz link.
Just the quiz. All right, we're just doing quiz links tonight. Save that quiz, it won't take you long. No, not yet. No, it won't. It won't be difficult. It won't be difficult at all. You'll pick it up very easy. It's just interpretation of the question, and you'll get used to how they word the questions and extracting what they want from the question. Okay, the math, like you saw tonight, the math is quite simple, but it's just trying to understand what the question wants you to do. Okay, and the best thing to do is to have a look at a lot of questions. So the revision lessons, you'll see a lot of exam type questions, and we obviously do a lot more as well than normal lessons, but at class and textbooks and past papers, you have a look at the questions and try and interpret as much as you can. That's the skill that you need to pick up. You'll be fine. Lanati, I promise you'll be fine. So where do you get past videos for Math Lit? So Watobe's YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube and you type in Watobe, just one word, Watobe, you'll see the Watobe YouTube channel. Every single lesson we've done is online there. All right, everything we've done from the beginning of the year is online there. So that tonight's video will come up in a day or two. So if you miss something in the lesson, you can always go back and have a look at the YouTube video. And those videos are free for anyone. So if there's guys at school that don't understand a section like tariffs, you can show them There we go. There's the link to the YouTube channel. You can show them the link to all these videos. They always go up online if you need to catch up.